Hello everyone, welcome back to another English class. Today we are going to go over the vocabulary in the workplace of making small talk. Remember, making small talk is something that we all do on a daily basis to talk about anything, basically. So Mrs. Luyando already went over with you with the vocabulary, and now we will continue identifying and matching that vocabulary. As you can see right here, we're going to complete the sentence, okay? The sentence number one, it says, many people like this singer. He is very, what would be the good word or expression to complete the sentence? Having a conversation, popular, voting for, or break. Which one of these is the correct answer? That's correct. Popular. Many people like this singer. He is very popular. Okay, now let's look at picture number two. It seems like this person is exercising his right to vote. And the sentence says, the man is president. What would be the correct word or expression? Having a conversation, break, or voting for? Yep, you are right. Voting for president, which is something that some of you will have the privilege to do in these coming elections in November, or hopefully someday you all will. Let's go to the next one. Let's look at this picture. What are they doing? Seems like they're having a small talk.
These workers aren't working now. They're on a break.
These workers aren't working now. They are on a correct break. They're on a break. They're not working, right? Remember, in the United States of America, there are working laws that help the workers and protect them from different things. And one of those things that you need to know is that breaks are mandatory, especially if you work 8 hours or 6 hours even. Okay, let's go to the next one. It says, these doctors are blank about a patient. What are they doing? Yes, having a conversation. These doctors are having a conversation about the patient.
These doctors are having a conversation about a patient.
Very good. Let's check our answers. That's right. So let's move on and let's go to the next section, the segment of this lesson. Making small talk. Now, these two people right here below me, they are having a conversation, right? So let's hear what they're saying. What is it that we have to do? It says, use context clues. Context clues are things that are sometimes not spoken, things that you have to figure out or infer based on what is happening, based on what you see or what you hear. In this case, what we are going to look are words or expressions that mean the same. Okay? Synonyms. Things that are the same or have the same meaning. Okay, this is what we are going to be looking here. So this conversation goes like this. Do you work all day long? Notice that all day long is in bold. Yes, she said. I start at 8 a.m. and finish at 6 p.m. So what would be another way to state all day long? From the options right here, it says from morning until evening or for one day. all day long. From morning until evening for one day. All day long. What will be the answer? What will be the context clues here? Correct. From morning until evening. That is all day long, right? Because that's a long period of time. Let's hear the second conversation. Is there a pharmacy around here? Yes, there's one at the end of the street. Is there a pharmacy around here? Yes, there's one at the end of the street. Okay, so the expression is around here. Around here. What will be a synonym? What will be an expression that is the same, that means the same? These are the two options. Far from here, near here. Far from here, near here. So around here, around here. What would be the same? Far from here or near here? Yes. Near here is the same thing as around here, right? Near, something that is close. Around, something that is close as well. Around here. Where do you live? I live around here. Where do you live? I live near here. They both mean basically the same. Near here. Around here. Let's go to the next one. I want to go to a movie. Do you have any recommendations? Yes. Here's the chef is great. I want to go to the movie. Do you have any recommendations? Yes. Here's the chef is great. So the word recommendations, let's find something that means the same meanings. Things you want someone to try, is that a recommendation? Or things you want to learn about, is that a recommendation? I believe a recommendation is things you want someone to try, right? You recommend a restaurant, you recommend someone to do work in your house, you recommend a product that you bought that you think it's good, so you want to make sure people know that and you recommend it. Things you want someone to try. Let's go to the next conversation. I'm walking to work unless it rains. If it rains, I'll drive you. I'm walking to work unless it rains. If it rains, I'll drive you. The word unless. Unless. Remember we discussed, we talk about unless. Okay, unless is a word that we can use to change your mindset, to make it better, to make things better, right? To change a situation. So what would be another expression that means the same? Unless. If it does, or if it doesn't. If it does, or if it doesn't. I'm walking to work unless it rains. If it rains, I'll drive you. Okay? If it doesn't, right? So it's the opposite. If it doesn't rain, I'll drive you. And let's do the last one. How much money do you make? I can't answer that. It's personal. How much money do you make? I can't answer that. It's personal. Something interesting you want to tell everyone about? Or something about yourself you don't want to talk about? Personal. The word personal. Something about yourself you don't want to talk about. You don't want to just share it, right? Yes, we got to keep things personal sometimes. Most of the times, if it's recommended. Okay, so people are not in your business. Okay? personal. By the way, this question is not a very polite, and I do not recommend for you to formulate or to ask this question, okay? How much money you make? No. All right. So let's show all our answers. All our answers are correct. And let's move on to the last part of this lesson. I will read this to you, and you will also listen to it. And tell you what, let's listen to it first, and then I'll read it, and we will answer these questions. Okay? Here we go.
Small talk. What did you talk about at work today? Work, of course. But you probably also had conversations about the traffic or the weather. You made small talk. You talked about everyday topics. What do Americans talk about at work? Not just traffic and the weather. They talk about TV programs, sports, shopping, and weekend plans. People also ask for recommendations. Is there a good restaurant around here? Or, do you like your cell phone? I need a new one. What don't they talk about? Religion and politics. Don't ask a coworker, are you Christian? Or, who did you vote for? People also don't want you to ask them personal questions. Don't ask about a new boyfriend, for example, unless you and your coworker are good friends. Knowing when to make small talk is important. A good time is in the morning when people get to work. You can also make small talk during breaks. Don't make small talk all day long. Remember, you're at work to work. Making small talk is a skill, and it can help you on the job. It shows your employer you have good people skills. That's important.
Okay, so that was a really good advice. And now I'm going to read to you, and then we're going to answer these questions. What did you talk about at work today? Work, of course, but you probably also had conversations about the traffic or the weather. You made small talk. You talk about everyday topics. What do Americans talk about at work? Not just traffic and the weather. They talk about TV programs, sports, shopping, and weekend plans. People also ask recommendations. Is there a good restaurant around here? Or do you like a cell phone? I need a new one. What don't they talk about? Religion and politics is a no-no. Don't ask about a coworker, are you Christian? Or who did you vote for? People also don't want you to ask them personal questions. Don't ask about a new boyfriend, for example, unless you and your coworker are good friends. Knowing when to make small talk is important. A good time is in the morning when people get to work. You can also make small talk during breaks. Don't make small talk all day long. Remember, you are at work to work. Making small talk is a skill, and it can help you on the job. It shows your employer you have good people skills. That's important. All right, so based on this reading, let's answer these questions. What is small talk? Talk about work, talk about everyday things, or both? A and B. Correct. Talk about everyday things. What are some of the topics that Americans talk about at work? TV programs and traffic, the weather, sports, weekend plans. Both. A and B. A and B. Correct. Both. Right? What are some of the topics they don't talk about? Religion and politics, personal topics, both A and B. Yeah, you don't talk about religion and politics, personal topics either. So that's correct. A and B. What is an example of a personal question? Do you have a new boyfriend? Is there a good restaurant around here? I believe, do you have a new boyfriend is a good example of a personal question. Not a good question to ask. And the last ones, during lunch. When can you make small talk at work? During lunch? At the beginning of the day? Both, A and B. Yeah, both, right? I'm sorry. And the last one, how can small talk help you on the job? It shows you can work well with other people. It shows that you can a lot about your job. correct